The Beast is written and directed by Bertrand Bonello and is loosely based on Henry James's 1903 novella, The Beast in the Jungle. The film is set in three separate time periods, 1910, 2014 and 2044. In 2044, emotions have become a threat. Artificial intelligence has taken over most of the jobs in the world, as humans are deemed useless and incapable of making decisions due to their emotions. Some humans have undergone a process to purify their DNA. They enter their past lives to rid them of any strong emotions so that they can find better jobs. In a career-best performance, Lea Seydoux plays Gabrielle, who decides to purify her DNA after becoming increasingly disillusioned with her job. The process occurs in a machine that will immerse her in her past lives and rid her of any strong feelings. But then she meets Louis, and although he seems dangerous, she feels a powerful connection to him, as if she has known him forever. This is my first time seeing a film from Bertrand Bonello, so I'm probably not pronouncing his name right. I hope I am. The film clocks in at just under 2.5 hours. It certainly feels long, but I was glued to the screen throughout, mostly during the 2014 sequences, which are the most dense and the ones I found most riveting. Normally, when you set a film in the near future and make the world too advanced, it ages poorly, or at least loses some of its bite. But watching the sequences set 20 years from now, it seemed plausible and honestly scary. Everyone lives in this emotionally void dystopia, where you have to go to clubs to experience the past. There are a few scenes showing a club that plays music from different eras. We see 60s, 70s, 80s, and people dressing in vintage clothes to match the eras. This is one of the only scenes where anyone appears to be having any fun. This is of course not dissimilar to the purification process, or honestly, the kinds of clubs that you can go to in 2024. Gabrielle seems to live in a quiet depression over the state of the world. She constantly reminds an AI named Kelly that she is a doll. Kelly is charged with looking after Gabrielle after her first purification treatment. I enjoyed the sci-fi aesthetic of the 2044 sequences. It didn't feel overdone, and I wish that we'd spent more time in 2044, to be honest. We spent a little bit too much time in 1910 for my liking, as it was the least interesting period, but it was still important to show the quaintness of that time period. I was impressed with how the characters appeared to be the same people regardless of which of their lives we were witnessing. They would behave differently due to the social norms of each time period, yet their personalities and core desires were the same. It makes you think about what it would be like if you could access past lives of yours, if that's a real thing. Louis is played fantastically by George McKay, and whilst he has a creepiness about him in 1910, I thought it was too drastic how nuts he was in 2014 by comparison. The way they base his character off of Elliot Rodger in that section was too on the nose for me personally. I understand the points being made about social media and such, but I just don't think it had to be so obvious. I'm sure that there are many people that will find this film to be meandering and style over substance, but being such a fan of Stanley Kubrick and David Lynch, I found the film to be refreshing, as I haven't seen anything like it in a little while. In fact, and it might sound silly to say, I was taken aback at the beginning of this film, as I was quickly reminded just how abstract a movie can be, as I have been watching a lot of mainstream blockbusters these past couple of years, movies that present everything literally and linearly. This one ignited my imagination like few new films have, and it got me thinking the way that I did when I would watch stuff like this all the time. When I was in high school, I used to watch a lot of David Lynch and Stanley Kubrick. Through the juxtaposition of different time periods, we are shown the evolution of technology with the manufacturing of literal dolls in 1910, to Gabrielle using a laptop in 2014 and communicating with it, to the obvious dominance of AI, referred to as dolls, in 2044. Love and connection are shown as the through line, love always being the core of humanity regardless of the time period. AI can't love. Love and lust are seen as weakness in 2044. Yet love is what continues to drive people no matter whether it's 1910, 2014, or 2044. Love takes us through the film. I've been a fan of Lea Seydoux for a long time. She is in so many big movies, and yet she never seems to be part of general audiences' conversations on great current actors. At least none that I've had. Inglourious Bastards, Midnight in Paris, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Blue is the Warmest Colour, The Grand Budapest Hotel, The Lobster, No Time to Die, The French Dispatch, Crimes of the Future, and this year's Dune Part 2. Think of how many great and also mainstream films that she's been in. The variety of films she's been in shows that she is one of the best young actresses working today. I say young, but I'm now thinking that she's honestly been doing this for a while, which makes it all the more criminal that she isn't lobbied the kind of praise that a Zendaya or an Anya Taylor-Joy is. I'm always happy to see Seydoux in whatever she pops up in, as I know that I am going to be in more than capable hands. This being a French film, it has only had a wide international release this year, and I only had a chance to see it this month. But I suppose it is technically a 2023 film, and so considering that, I'd say it's easily in my top 10 of 2023, and is one of the best films I've seen in 2024 for that matter. There is a lot to analyze in this film. I could make a very long analysis, but this isn't an analysis, it's just a review, so I'll kind of stop with the deep dive now and conclude the video by saying that The Beast is an art house film through and through. If that isn't your thing, then that isn't your thing. But I thought that the concepts were realized in a strong and provocative way here, and I would recommend the film if it sounds like something you'd be interested in, or if you just feel like being scared for the future, as I am.